Tensions between Iran and Israel reached a critical point this week, drawing in international powers and igniting fears of a broader regional war. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei firmly rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's demand for unconditional surrender, declaring that Iran will not submit to threats or imposed peace. In a televised address, Khamenei warned that any U.S. military intervention would lead to irreparable damage.
دشمنان برای کشور پیش برد. ملت ایران نشان داد که هم متین، هم شجاع، هم وقت شناس این حرکت عظیمی که مردم در روز جشن قدیر نشان دادن به دنیا، حرکت عظیمی بود. اجتماعات مردم، راهپیمایی‌های مردم در همین چند روز در نماز جمعه ها، حضورشون بعد از نماز، راهپیماییشون، همه اینها نشان دهنده رشد ملت ایران و قوام عقلانیت و معنویت همراه با شجاعت و وقت شناسی در ملت عزیزمون هست. خدا رو شکر میکنم که الحمدلله این ملت مؤمن رو در این حد از توانایی ها و امکانات معنوی و مادی قرار داد.
On the ground, Israeli airstrikes intensified, with more than 50 jets targeting sites in Tehran, including missile production facilities, Iran's internal security headquarters, and, most recently, the Iranian Red Crescent Society, according to state media. These escalations have triggered a wave of panic. Highways out of Tehran are jammed with fleeing civilians, while Iran is now facing a near-total internet blackout, as confirmed by the monitoring group NetBlocks, following earlier partial disruptions. President Trump, signaling growing impatience, said, "Nobody knows what I'm going to do," leaving U.S. intentions unclear.
You've been answered questions about whether you are moving closer, or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities. Where's your mindset on that?
You can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question? Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's very sad to watch this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's so, everyone thought it was going to be the reverse. I didn't think so. And I was telling them, you gotta do something. You gotta negotiate. And at the end, last minute, they said, no, we're not going to do that, and they got hit. Remember 60 days, and then came the 60. 61 is going to become a very famous number. That was one hell of a hit. That first hit. That was one hell of a hit. Not sustainable, to be honest. That's where it ended. It ended on the first night, yes.
While U.S. involvement remains limited to defensive measures, like missile interception support and increased air deployments, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stated before the Senate that the Pentagon is prepared to execute any decisions related to war with Iran, though he declined to comment on strike options publicly.
I can or should say it would be reserved for a classified setting. I would say the President, obviously, any decisions on this matter are at the presidential level. He has communicated very clearly for quite some time.
I do understand that, Mr. Secretary, but my question for you is whether you have been asked actively to provide options for the President regarding a strike in the Middle East.
If I had or I had not, I wouldn't disclose that in this forum, Senator. My job, our job, the Chairman and I, at all times, is to make sure the President has options and is informed of what those options might be and what the ramifications of those options might be.
I appreciate that.
You mentioned the troops in the region.
I
maximum force protection at all times is being maintained.
Iran, meanwhile, has strongly denied Trump's claim that Iranian officials sought a meeting at the White House. In a statement posted on X, Iran's UN mission called the claim false and Trump's threats against Khamenei cowardly. The mission reaffirmed that Iran does not negotiate under duress, branding Trump a has been warmonger clinging to relevance. Russia has condemned the Israeli strikes and warned the U.S. against deeper involvement, citing the risk of a nuclear catastrophe akin to Fukushima. Despite Moscow's offer to mediate, Iran has not formally responded. Iranian UN envoy Ali Bahraini continues to accuse the U.S. of complicity and has warned of a proportional and firm response if red lines are crossed. With diplomatic channels faltering, internet access cut, and the missile exchanges persisting, the threat of a wider war continues to escalate.